Mitchell Harrison, back again to describe that ship that was sailing from Recife, Brazil, the Valk. Last video we discussed the Portuguese reconquest of that northeast coast of Brazil from the relatively more tolerant Dutch. The result after 1654 was a refugee crisis, with a caravan of at least 16 boats barely handling the desperate stream of human beings back to the Netherlands, or anywhere they could escape with their lives. The Sephardim present, who managed to practice their faith freely and openly in Brazil, viscerally feared being burnt alive at the stake in a grand public auto da fe, act of faith by the hyper-vigilant forces of the Inquisition. Today we discuss a peculiar vessel, the old boat Valk. Valk had the mazel of being blown off course to Jamaica and or Cuba. The arrival in New York, then New Amsterdam, was almost never to be. The ship was blown off course by a pretty fierce storm. NOAA National Hurricane Center warnings, GPS, and satellite imagery were not available, not even in beta testing. According to the account by Saul Levi Morteda and David Franco Mendes, the boat was overpowered, and people were held captive. They were then taken by Spanish pirates for a time. Detained a month under primitive conditions on the western tip of Cuba, Cabo San Antonio. In Cuba, the Jews eventually boarded the St. Katrina, called by later historians the Jewish Mayflower, which took them to New Amsterdam. The St. Katrina barely made it north to the next small island of Dutch civilization in the northern hemisphere, the island of Mannahatta in Lenape, Manhattan. Once the boat arrived, the infamous governor Peter Stuyvesant did not even want to accept the wretched 2,000 tormented humans, the Sephardim, aboard. After such a harrowing experience, the people from this one boat remained in legal limbo, and months went by in a demeaning form of purgatory without any rights or ability to immerse in the local society. There had to be a prolonged appeal, which involved waiting for boats with messages to go back and forth to the Netherlands and North America to finally receive a favorable decision allowing tolerance to the newly arrived humans in town. It helped that some of the shareholders of the Dutch West India Company were favorably disposed, and blind exclusion was bad for business. Also, the ship's captain wanted money. He ransomed all the possessions of the refugees aboard and held all the people collectively responsible for alleged arrears for their passage, legally bound in solidum. 900-odd guilders already paid, an exorbitant 2,500 guilders alleged by the captain. The judge in New Amsterdam decides all of the predatory 2,500 guilders must be coughed up and allows the captain to hold all their stuff. The judge forced everyone to pay up the extra charges within 48 hours. It is not just modern coyotes that exploited those desperate migrants, who did not have much choice in the matter, and got away with it. There is also the auspicious timing that just 1 month before the Sephardic refugees arrived in September 1654, the boat Pettaboom arrived in New Amsterdam with several visiting Ashkenazic traders, who advocated towards easing the plight of the refugees. Truly an interesting moment in history. I always find it so remarkable how chance events such as a storm and capture by pirates can have such profound effects on history. If the ship had not been blown off course, or if it had been accepted at its intended destination without incident, the very course of Jewish history in the United States might have been entirely different. The difficult circumstances under which the refugees arrived in New Amsterdam is a reminder of the challenges faced by persecuted minorities in seeking safety and a new home. However unfortunate and humiliating, subjected to such mistreatment by the captain and the governor, their determination and resilience in overcoming these obstacles is a testament to the strength of the human spirit. Despite the rocky start, the Jewish community in New Amsterdam, which later became New York City, went on to become one of the most prominent and influential in the world. It is a reminder of the important role that refugees and immigrants have played in shaping the history and culture of the United States and other countries around the world. Okay folks, it's your turn. Like and subscribe, and please do suggest what you'd like to hear about next.